On this video, we're going to talk about all about how to get pre-approved for a home loan, and we're getting started right now. Hey, I'm Emmett Dempsey, mortgage broker and owner of Treasure Coast Mortgage here in Port Saint Lucie, and welcome to another video. On this channel, we talk more about mortgages, the home buying process, and some cool things around Port Saint Lucie and Treasure Coast. So if you're new here, please think about subscribing and ringing that bell. Okay, how to get pre-approved for a home loan. As far as the mechanics of it would go, I try to use, a lot of mobile tactics. I have a mobile app. I'll text you. I'll text you the link to my website. I have an online application. I'd say about 99% of folks feel comfortable with that. Sometimes I'll do in-person appointments or over the phone, kind of just old school interview style. Whatever works for you in your situation. But the most efficient way, in order to not make many mistakes, especially misspellings, which can be problematic later, I usually will send you either an email or the mobile app for you to do. Okay, once I get that and we pull credit, then I go into the analysis about how to get pre-approved. And here's what you need. I call it the tripod. It's income, credit, and equity. Basically, as far as income, now that's going to be the number one way, the number one barrier to entry, so to speak, by you getting pre-approved is your income. Sources of income, documentable income, how much you make, how long you've been there, job history, as far as asset-based income, pensions, things like that. Getting that documented is huge to know exactly if you can pay the loan. It kind of makes sense. I need to borrow money. I need to be able to be sure that I can pay it back. So income is first and foremost, knowing exactly what that income number is, because that's going to determine everything else. So that's the income piece. And then next is the credit. Credit score is going to be the first barrier to entry. There's certain minimum FICO scores, and just so you know that we in the mortgage industry, we use the FICO model and an older FICO model, usually around version 4 or 5. So if you go on Credit Karma, it's a entirely different scoring model. They use the Vantage model, and it is very score driven. So credit score is the first factor, because that's going to determine what programs you qualify for, whether it's conventional, FHA, or if you're a veteran, VA, USDA. They all have minimum FICO scores. So credit is very important. So scores is just the first piece, because I've seen 700 plus FICO scores, and they had short sales, bankruptcies, that we found out later. So doing a thorough analysis of your credit is very, very important to identify any red flags. Bottom line, at this point, I'm trying to ascertain anything that an underwriter might ask, and kind of pre-underwriting your file and knowing today versus you finding out down the road, put a house under contract, spend thousands of dollars, and then say, oh, sorry, I missed a guideline, or I forgot to tell you something on credit. So we do all that stuff, and we kind of shake the tree to make sure we iron out all the kinks, to make sure that your credit is going to pass muster, to know that the house that you want to buy, you can buy based on those terms. And next is equity or assets. So to figure out if you have enough cash to close, are you getting a gift? If you have a bunch of money on your mattress, that's not a good thing. You have to be able to deposit that money. There's a term called sourced and seasoned funds. So figure out if you can close on the loan, if you have the cash to close, if you have the credit in order to qualify for the program, based on your payment history, and also the income to pay back the loan. So that's how we get pre-approved. And when I talk to clients, I always ask them, what's the maximum payment that you feel comfortable with? Because we live our lives month to month. It kind of really annoys me when they say, I'm pre-approved to $250. Okay, great. What the heck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Do you live your life, $250? Okay, but next month the mortgage payment's due. How much of a mortgage payment are you comfortable with? And then I kind of back into that and say, well, based on what you told me, here's what you qualify for. Here's the max you qualify for, to say, like 250, 300, or whatever it might be. Estimated payment would be this. And then we kind of have a conversation. It's a very fluid thing. It's not an absolute, 250 or 275, and that's really a misnomer. So the pre-approval process is really information gathering. Getting documentation up front is very important in the pre-approval process. That's how you get pre-approved for a home loan. So once you get all those things in, I'll walk you through all your options. You either have set an appointment. I usually do a lot of video and send that walkthrough video to you, and we analyze their situation. So that in a nutshell is how to get pre-approved for a home loan. So if you're in the market to buy a house, I definitely would love you give me a call or go to dempseymortgage.com for your own pre-approval analysis. We can do that for you, pretty quickly. It takes about 24, 48 hours. It's a pretty quick process, but you definitely want to be pre-approved before you start looking for homes. So again, if you want to find out more about mortgages, the home buying process, or a little bit about Port Saint Lucie and the Treasure Coast, please think about subscribing and ring that bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.